I should give you guys a heads up for these things. If I'm going to continue to do recaps here on Tuesday nights, maybe it would be nice. Now, normally I'm going to do shows that are kind of, kind of a big deal or whatever. If you weren't there, you probably remember it or would have heard it at some point. And this is definitely the case with this one. I mean, this was like an official live Phish release. And not one of the live Phish volumes that I was speaking about recently. That I recently spoke about. F720 spoke about. It was more of a, afterwards, once it just became like a digital download. And then it did kind of interfere. As you see, I got monitor face here. I got Phish.com pulled up. And actually, lately, I've been going to Phish.com. It's like the last place in the world you would go for like, I don't know, it just seemed like .net or just any other just personal reviewers, myself included. Anyhow, they usually got a pretty good rundown and show. They'll have like attendance, ticket prices, like some like little detail about that day. And this one, it does carry on about the thunderstorm, but I think everybody's kind of heard about that at this point. And no other notes, no ticket sale. What did tickets cost? How many people were in attendance? I don't know. None of that cool stuff. It was more about like what's the download all about. I feel like we got stiffed on the notes here because there was half of it was about fucking download notes. So, anyways, much like the Nutter Center show in '97, we got a strong 1-2 punch opening up with Runaway Jim and My Soul, and throughout the show, several good segues. Alligator mouths, if you will. And then very few just like, man, what's that song? Bye Bye Foot. John Fishman getting in on the action, and maybe it pumped him up a little bit, because I thought his vocals on Taste were very, very good. I'm never going to really say that, nor should it. Nobody should ever say that. But he just seemed kind of really relaxed, maybe kind of like a little stony vibe to it. Very good vultures, maybe one of the best vultures ever. He had it bouncing around the room there in the first set. Stash was probably the highlight of the first set, the first shit. Although that Taste was pretty damn good. There at the end, when Trey started that part at the end where it's like Taste is kind of a beautiful, nice song, just a pleasant sound. And then at the end, man, some of them licks that Trey starts playing are just evil. And he really, very mean-spirited on this night, those notes sounded. Then we get into Down with Disease, a nice 20-minute Down with Disease open. I just felt like there was too much downtime in this Down with Disease. I'm not saying all 20 minutes needs to rage from the moment go. But there was a little too much maybe noodling around. Some really crazy like British rock sound from Trey in there. And then the Mike's Simple Hydrogen. Then it really gets going. But then overall, the winner of the night for a show that maybe had 6 or 7 songs that people could argue were their favorites of the night. Some people might like Stash or Taste, maybe even that Runaway Jim, the Down with Disease, the Mikes, the Weekapog, the Simple. For me, it was Weekapog Groove that won it. Just a very, that song's always going to kind of have a little bounce to it, of course. And then, again, like kind of with those evil, mean-spirited notes came in at the end with Trey and Taste. That was a hell of a sentence. Those notes that he was playing at the end of Taste, they kind of came into the end of this week of Paul Grew, like via maybe like a Down with Disease tease, like an evil Down with Disease riff. And then a Hello My Baby. Big night for John Fishman. You should have heard him on that Simple. And then When the Circus Comes to Town, Harry Hood, and then it looks like the CD if you got the digital download from livephish.com. Or if you're a monthly subscriber, you get YEM. Which the bonus track had the drummer from Dave Matthews. Now, how'd they do that? Did Fishman take a step aside, or did they bring out an extra jump set? And I can't talk, guys. All right, that's when you got to go. When you start saying stuff like dump that. Guy I work with just saw Napoleon Dynamite for the first time. Pretty cool.